Hello, everybody. Welcome to the world of blissfulness. Our mission is to spread happiness and joy to everyone around us. In today's video, we will be discussing about things that are emotionally draining versus emotionally nourishing. I realized that some things were emotionally draining me, but I could not understand why. What might be the reasons?
It can be challenging to pinpoint the exact reason for feeling emotionally drained, but some common reasons may include stress or pressure from work, school, or personal life, lack of social support or connection with others, excessive worries or negative thoughts, lack of self care or time for oneself, difficulty setting boundaries or saying no to demands from others.
That's a powerful observation. One of the interesting things about emotional energy is that some things can be objectively good, yet still be emotionally draining if it conflicts with your needs, values, or current capacity. A useful way to think about it is that emotionally nourishing experiences leave you feeling more whole, peaceful, or energized afterwards, while emotionally draining experiences leave you feeling depleted, tense, or needing to recover even if they weren't physically demanding.
I agree. It's important to recognize that something that may seem objectively good, such as a job or promotion or social event, can still be emotionally draining if it goes against your personal needs, values, or is beyond your current capacity to handle. And it's also important to recognize that something can be emotionally nourishing, even if it doesn't seem to require a lot of effort.
Here are some common reasons something becomes emotionally draining. It requires you to be someone you're not. If you constantly have to pretend to enjoy something, hide your true feelings, walk on eggshells, wear a social mask, then your nervous system uses a tremendous amount of energy. In order to nourish yourself, you can simply be yourself.
I totally agree. Being in a situation where you have to pretend to be someone you're not, hide your feelings, or walk on eggshells can be emotionally draining and stressful. It requires a lot of energy and effort to keep up a facade, and it can take a toll on your mental and emotional well being. It's important to be true to yourself and not compromise on your identity.
Emotional draining happens when it creates internal conflict. You may be doing something that goes against your values. Examples: saying yes when you want to really say no, working only for money while longing for meaningful work, staying in relationships out of obligation. Inner conflict quietly consumes emotional energy.
Totally agree on the emotional drain caused by internal conflict. When we say yes, when we want to say no, or stay in relationships out of obligation, it creates inner turmoil and takes a toll on our emotional energy. It's important to listen to ourselves and honor our true feelings.
If something activates fear, it will drain your emotional energy. Your brain remains on alert. Examples: fear of criticism, fear of rejection, fear of making mistakes, fear of disappointing others. Even if nothing bad happens, anticipation itself is emotionally exhausting.
I couldn't agree that the number came towards 10 news. Quality doctors are what couldn't agree more. We are start with this side. Feeling fear activates our natural fight or flight response and triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which can drain our emotional energy and leave us feeling exhausted. It doesn't matter whether the fear is justified or not, as the anticipation of something bad happening can be emotionally draining in itself.
Emotional energy drains when it lacks meaning. Any activity that you do. People can work very hard without feeling drained if it if the work feels meaningful. Conversely, repetitive tasks that feel pointless often create emotional fatigue. Meaning nourishes our emotions. Meaninglessness depletes our emotions.
That's so true. Activities that are meaningful and purposeful tend to energize us. On the other hand, tasks that are repetitive and lacking in meaning can drain us emotionally. It's the difference between feeling connected to a cause and just going through the motions.
Too much giving, not enough receiving, can drain our emotional energy. Many caring people continuously help others, listen, solve problems, and support everyone without
Yes,
allowing.
an imbalance of giving and receiving can indeed lead to feelings of emotional drain. If we consistently prioritize giving to others without taking the time to receive and care for ourselves, it can leave us feeling exhausted and depleted. It's important to strike a healthy balance between giving and receiving to maintain emotional well being. Yes, this is absolutely true. So now this what's it? I'm not what in already, but now Sony in the but yeah, many caring and giving people tend to give and give and give. But if they don't take the time to receive and fill their own cup, they may end up feeling emotionally depleted. It's important to balance giving with receiving to maintain a healthy emotional balance.
Many caring people continuously help others, listen, solve problems, support everyone without allowing themselves to receive support. Eventually, the emotional account becomes overdrawn.
You hit the nail on the head there. Many caring people often get to prioritize themselves and end up taking on too much emotional labor without allowing themselves to receive support. Over time, this can lead to emotional burnout and fatigue. It's important to remember that taking care of oneself and asking for help is just as important as helping others.
Emotional energy is drained when we have not yet processed all our emotions. So, unprocessed emotions cause emotional drainage. Sometimes the activity isn't the problem, it simply stirred up grief, shame, anger, loneliness, old memories. The activity can act like a trigger.
Absolutely correct. Unprocessed or suppressed emotions can indeed lead to emotional drainage. So, even if an activity seems fine on the surface, if it triggers old emotions or memories, it can feel emotionally draining. It's important to acknowledge and process our emotions rather than suppressing them to avoid emotional fatigue.
Decision fatigue also causes emotional drainage. Every decision uses mental energy. Constantly deciding what to do, what to say, what others think, whether you're doing enough can quietly drain emotional reserves.
You're absolutely right. Decision fatigue is very real and can cause emotional drain. Constantly making decisions, even small ones, can require a tremendous amount of mental energy. And when we're constantly questioning ourselves or worrying about what others think, it's even more emotionally exhausting.
Perfectionism. This also causes emotional drainage. When good enough never feels enough, every task becomes emotionally expensive. You aren't just doing the task, you're judging yourself while doing it.
That's a very astute observation. Perfectionism does indeed cause emotional drainage. When we're constantly judging our own performance and holding ourselves to impossibly high standards, it can be emotionally exhausting. We're not just doing the task at hand, but also engaging in a mental battle with ourselves, trying to measure up to our own expectations. This constant inner scrutiny takes a toll on our emotional energy.
Lack of recovery causes emotional drainage. Even nourishing experiences become draining if there's no time to recharge. Like muscles, emotions need recovery.
That's a a great point. Even enjoyable activities need downtime to recharge and recover. Just like how our physical muscles need rest after exercise, our emotional energy also needs downtime to recharge and replenish. Constantly engaging in enjoyable activities without taking breaks can be emotionally draining and leave us feeling frazzled and depleted.
Misalignment with your natural temperament can also cause emotional drainage. Some people are nourished by quiet, nature, reading, one on one conversations, while others thrive on groups, excitement, novelty, and collaboration. Living against your natural disposition creates chronic emotional depletion. So always go with your flow, what is your personality, engage with that kind of activities.
You've pinpointed a very important point. Emotional drainage can often result from ignoring or neglecting one's natural disposition and temperament. It's crucial to recognize what brings us joy and peace, instead of forcing ourselves into situations that don't resonate with our true self. Like you mentioned, some people thrive in quiet, intimate settings, while others thrive in noisy, collaborative environments. By embracing what truly brings us happiness, we can enhance our emotional well being and avoid burnout.
Emotionally nourishing experiences. These often include feeling accepted, being fully present, time in nature, creative expression, loving relationships, genuine laughter, gratitude, spiritual practice or meditation, meaningful work, deep conversations, solitude when needed, acts of kindness without obligation. Notice that these experiences don't necessarily create excitement, they often create peace, and peace can be deeply restorative.
You are absolutely right. Emotional nourishment doesn't always equate to excitement. Instead, it often brings a sense of peace, contentment, and a deep feeling of being restored. The activities you mentioned, like appreciating nature, creative expression, deep conversations, and acts of kindness, are all powerful sources of emotional sustenance. They may not generate excitement, but rather a gentle sense of fulfillment and tranquility. It's wonderful to prioritize these experiences that nurture your soul.
This is a simple reflection. After any activity, ask yourself, do I feel lighter or heavier, more open or more contracted, more peaceful or more restless, more connected or more isolated, more like myself or less like myself? If no one expected this of me, would I still choose to do it? Over time, your answers reveal your patterns.
I love this simple yet insightful reflection question. Checking in with our own emotions and energy after an activity can be a powerful tool for self awareness. By asking ourselves how we feel afterwards, we can gain insight into our emotional state. It's helpful to assess whether we feel more connected or isolated, more at peace or restless, more connected to our authentic self or less. Over time, this practice can reveal patterns and help us make informed choices that align with our values and priorities.
A deeper perspective. From the perspective of contentment and inner well being, emotionally nurturing experiences tend to reduce inner resistance. They cultivate qualities such as acceptance, compassion, gratitude, presence, and authenticity. Emotionally draining experiences often increase inner resistance through attachment, fear, comparison, resentment, excessive striving, or the need to control outcomes. This doesn't mean you should avoid every draining experience. Many worthwhile pursuits, like raising children, caring for a loved one, or building something meaningful, can be demanding. The key question is whether the effort leaves you with a sense of purpose and fulfillment, or with ongoing depletion and disconnection. One practical habit is to keep a journal for a week. At the end of each day, list three activities that felt emotionally nourishing and three that felt emotionally draining. Instead of judging them, ask why each had that effect, the patterns you discover are often more revealing than the activities themselves, and they can guide you towards a life that supports both accomplishment and lasting contentment.
You've outlined a valuable perspective on the differences between emotionally nurturing experiences and emotionally draining experiences. It's important to recognize that both types of experiences can have a place in our lives, but it's crucial to strike a balance. Keeping a journal and reflecting on the effects of different activities on our emotional well being can provide valuable insight into patterns and habits that may contribute to our sense of contentment or depletion. By understanding these patterns, we can make informed decisions and take proactive steps to cultivate experiences that support both accomplishment and lasting contentment.
Can you please summarize everything we discussed about?
Sure, here's a summary of our discussion. We discussed the concept of contentment and the importance of recognizing what activities are emotionally draining versus emotionally nourishing. We highlighted that something that can seem objectively good, such as a job promotion, can still be emotionally draining if it goes against our personal values or current capacity. We emphasize the importance of being true to oneself and not compromising on our identity. We also mentioned how constantly saying yes when we want to say no or staying in relationships out of obligation can create inner conflict and deplete emotional energy.
I hope you enjoyed today's video. Also, please visit our website at www.blissfulness.life.
Thank you. I hope you have a great day ahead. We'll check the website too. Thanks for your time.
Bye bye.
Bye. Take care and stay safe.